We often say nowadays Bitcoin is in a bull market, but it seems to me that Bitcoin can be described as a zoomorphic bull. It wrecks technical analyses, price models, and even laws we thought were to be absolute. Gresham's law states bad money drives out the good, and is often quoted as the reason for discounting Bitcoin's destiny to be the chief monetary system on the planet. Let's talk about some irrational arguments against the most rational economic tool we've ever known. It's Sir Ulrich, and my signal meter is yellow because I've noticed some interesting statements as of late in regards to this famous economic law. So if bad quality money drives out good, does the receiving side of the exchange have any voice in the matter at all? Let's see if you guys remember this classic in Culture Corner.
D14 hyperdrive generator. Be in luck. I'm the only one hereabouts who has one. But they might as well buy a new ship. It would be cheaper, I think, huh? Saying which, how's he gonna pay for all of this?
I have 20,000 Republic dactaries.
Republic credits? Republic credits are no good out here. I need something more real.
I don't have anything else, but credits will do fine.
No, they won't.
Credits will do fine.
No, they won't! What, you think you're some kind of Jedi waving your hand around like that? I'm a Toydarian. My tricks don't work on me. Only money. No money, no parts, no deal. And no one else has a T14 hyperdrive, I promise you that.
I'm sure many of you long for the good old days when Jar Jar Binks was the worst of Star Wars problems. It seems that Watto was not bound by the postulates of Gresham's law. In fact, this situation was the exact opposite. He had a good that he knew was valuable, a hyperdrive engine. Why do we assume that the vendor will always be comfortable with any form of money they are given? Even domestically, we have hard-working entrepreneurs that demand cash only. And we also have WEF acolyte businesses that will only take electronic payments. While this is not the intent of Gresham's law, I bring this up to indicate that the form of payment decision does not solely rest on the consumer's discretion. And here's another common Keynesian protest. Why would you spend Bitcoin if it goes up in value all the time? Surely it can't ever be a legitimate medium of exchange if everyone will hoard it in perpetuity. This is why you need inflationary money to incentivize people to spend it. And of course, the group of people, consumers, that have no power are the ones that bear the greatest pressure of the incumbent system. In this instance, the consumer under pressure to buy now, or they will buy the same thing later and be penalized for the delayed gratification in both time and compensation, which is also time, since time is money. What if the consumer is presented with no good options? Well, you're penalized time squared. Fiat really puts 99.9% of people in the world in a rough bind. Spend now or suffer. But what if a product was actually worth my money? What if I see a shiny new toy and this toy is so fancy it encourages me to demand it? Because it tells me nice things about myself, it opens the door for me when my hands are full, and it brushes my teeth. Then I realize the supply is limited because it's made with care and the next batch will be longer than I can bear in my stomach. I have to have it now. I look at my money, Bitcoin or otherwise, and I look at that toy and I say to that money, this is what you are here for. Then boom, value exchange. It doesn't matter what Bitcoin's future is. If there is a good or a service we need or want enough, we will seek it out. And if it's not good enough, then it should do better if it wants me to part with my Bitcoin. After all, a fool and his money are soon parted. While some things in this world do elicit the take my money now response, the exchange of goods and services generally has been corrupted by monetary debasement. Have you noticed it? Look at the ingredients in your food. Bioengineering and chemicals. Look at what you physically own versus borrow, lease, or rent. Worse or less than your previous generation. And the things you do own may have a lesser shelf life than they did in the past. Look at the clothes available, polyester and synthetics instead of leather and wool. But you will likely pay twice as much for the fake stuff than the real things a generation before. Fiat really puts 99.9% of people in the world in a rough bind. The central planner tells you, buy this junk or starve and freeze. The common consumer exchange could take a page out of the value exchange of Bitcoin mining, taking low-cost energy and transforming it into hard, real money that can be self-custodied. And hardly anyone is doing it as well as Marathon Digital Holdings. They trade on the NASDAQ under the ticker symbol MARA. They are the largest, most technologically advanced publicly traded Bitcoin miner, as well as one of the most energy efficient. Their ability to hodl Bitcoin in the midst of the longest bear market to date is a testament to their healthy financials and low time preference. Marathon's mission is to enhance the Bitcoin network by sustainably increasing the amount of computational power or hash rate. Make sure to check them out to see what else you can discover. The chief problem with laws, theorems, and axioms like Gresham's is that people often screw up their intended meaning. People assume that this rule of thumb can just be applied to any pair of competing monies. No. Gresham's law is rooted in the comparison between competing commodity money or variations amongst a singular commodity money. Commodity money means it has the value from the element by which it's made beyond the declaration of a formal money. Obvious ones come to mind like gold, silver, or copper. Other interesting ones include alcohol, cigarettes, or even canned food. But what we are dealing with here is a comparison between fiat money with no commodity backing and a decentralized cryptographically secured ledger system. Whether one makes the argument that the fiat is weaker than the Bitcoin or vice versa, the comparison is about preference. In Gresham's law, it is literally comparing a gold coin made, say, a decade apart from a newer one with additional impurities added, aka coin clipping. That is a clear difference in quality that no one can argue with or deny. The Gresham's law confusion seemingly is a byproduct of trying to categorize Bitcoin in some familiar fashion. Fidelity's Jurien Timmer calls Bitcoin a commodity currency or exponential gold. The Winklevoss twins called it Gold 2.0 back in 2017. Larry Fink and many others call it digital gold. Their minds are corrupted by the institutions that brought them up. Michael Saylor, however, says Bitcoin is the exit strategy. From what? Well, from the system that has perfected the ability to produce more money to benefit the people that have the ability to produce more money. It's a ticking time bomb. Your ability to acquire Bitcoin and, more importantly, self-custody the keys is the most important financial decision you can make in these revolutionary times. I am Sir Ulrich, like my father before me. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, real money doesn't grow on trees.